What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. It's absolutely a shame. I'm not even gonna lie. It's absolutely a shame. I was actually excited to do this video, just basically because I feel like I got a lot to say about this whole thing within Chicago, because so many people are outraged. Not only people that's outside of Chicago are outraged, but the people that's actually living residents in Chicago are pretty outraged about it. This Chicago Mayor, Brandon Johnson, issued a passionate call to action urging residents to resist Trump's federal troop deployment. His message was clear, as people, keep saying clear, but it's also, ignorant of him to say. Check it out.
To defend this land that was built by slaves, a land that was built by indigenous people, a land that is built by workers. Are you prepared to defend this land? The people united will always prevail. I need you all to stand firm, to stand strong.
So y'all see what, he's urging people to do. He's telling, people that, are in Chicago, not only people that's in Chicago, there's people that's outside of Chicago that is obviously, which is pretty sickening, standing for, what he's saying, what he wants to do. And it's pretty sad. I'm not even gonna lie. It's definitely pretty sad, and pretty crazy. Basically to, defend. And what he's going to do, I'm not even gonna lie, is he's going to, and I want to say this in the most respectful way because I don't want to make it, sound, bad or, get in trouble on this platform. But just simple fact of like, a lot of people could, possibly, get hurt, just based off of his words, his actions, the things that he's doing, the words that he's saying when he's getting these people. And one thing about it that people don't understand is that he's sitting here and causing all this, for people to do this, for people to defend, for people to do that. Man, he's going to sit in this mansion, guarded by officers, and that's going to be that. He's going to go to his office guarded by officers, and he's going to be cool. While people are actually out there, to really, and I'm not going to say to, obviously to get messed up, to get it, because that's not the main focus, to do when it comes to National Guard. National Guard is obviously there to make sure there's no crime happening and stuff like that. But, people are, and he's causing people to do, pretty much whatever, when it comes to this National Guard, coming to Chicago. And it's pretty crazy. This right here is former Chicago PD Superintendent Gary McCarthy on, Mayor Brandon Johnson. Check it out.
I heard that Brandon Johnson requested the money to pay for the 2,600 cops that the Chicago Police Department is down. If they didn't spend all that money over the last few years on harboring migrants who were not here legally, they would have the money for those cops, wouldn't they? So it's choices that they make, exactly. And it's not apparently in the best interest of the citizens who are voting here in the city of Chicago. I heard
so that's the thing, now it's, first it was, and still, now it's defund the police. Now it's we need the money now. We need the money now for, funds for more police and this, that, and other, because before it wasn't, we don't need, more police. I literally just did a video on that. Now requesting money for that. He literally, I'm not going to lie, is probably like the worst mayor I've seen. Just based off, I don't know. I don't know. He's definitely up there. I'm going to say he's definitely up there. From what I've seen, but he's definitely the worst mayor that I've seen. I'm not gonna lie. I know there's some bad mayors out there, but the things that he's doing right now, things that he's saying, and it, all because of the hate of Trump. That's what all this is. It's the hate of Trump. They don't want to see Trump do good. They don't want to see him helping. They don't want to see him doing nothing. It's sickening. I'm not gonna lie. And a lot of residents want it. A lot of residents want it. There's anti-Trump protesters in Chicago chant, "Fund the schools, not the guard," y'all. It's crazy. I'm telling y'all, it's definitely crazy on like how much hate these people have. And y'all know that the Chicago, the schools, there is horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely horrible. And one thing about it is that, again, they've had all this money, but then again, like you said, wanted to fund the migrants. I mean, wanted to put it when it comes to bus fare, food stamps, housing. When it came to that stuff, rather than putting it where it actually needs to be. And now you messed up about it and all bent out of shape. And then now you got Trump. And that's what I'm saying. Not accepting that help, you just making matters worse. Exactly what you're doing is making matters worse. I'm telling y'all. It says right here, the irony, protesters keeps cops busy babysitting them while neighborhoods go unprotected. It's a real champions of the people right here. So you literally have multiple police officers out on the streets, sitting there basically, yes, babysitting protesters, making sure, things are going, the right way. But then again, I don't know if y'all know this, but let me explain something to y'all how this works. Let me explain it. When people get word out, I don't know if y'all in the car community. I'm gonna use this, like the car community. I don't know if y'all, ever known this, but when you're in the car community, I've been in the car community since I was 16, 17 years old. I'm 27 now. So you're in a car community, and I don't condone none of that, but I know, I've been around people. I've had, my time. I'm not about to sit here and act like I was about to say I was young once, and people still going to say, oh, you're still young. But, when you hear that there's no cops around, and then people messed up the car community now. I can't stand it. I don't even go out and take my cars nowhere no more because of it. But if y'all think about it, when you go out and you're at a car event, or if you're doing, you got racing, and you got, this, you got this going on, you got all of this, that you got going on. When you hear that there's no cops around, bro, and they handling business elsewhere, if it's something that happened that's bad, across that, and y'all see all the police. What y'all think people that's racing, people that's literally doing whatever in these cars is doing in one area? They gonna clown. They gonna clown because, so if y'all got all these cops sitting here babysitting these protesters, this, that, and the other, mind y'all, it's already crime here in Chicago. It's already crime in Chicago. And they see all these cops lined up, they protest. What do you think they doing right now? They cooking up stuff. Not literally YouTube. I'm telling y'all, they thinking of everything. I'm talking about everything to do when it comes to and y'all gotta realize too, over the weekend, it was a lot of shootings. It was a lot of things going on. So what do y'all think gonna happen? I'm telling y'all, it's not making sense. And this is exactly why the National Guard needs to be in Chicago. I'm telling y'all. It says people in Chicago are protesting to keep crime out of control. This is about the craziest thing, y'all.
This administration has waged war on anybody in this country who is a threat to white supremacy. As we stand in this moment today fighting for our loved ones, we are also literally standing in a moment where we are fighting about whether justice, equity, and freedom will live or die in this generation.
My thing is all these people that's, obviously getting unalived and stuff like that, all these shootings that's occurring and this, that, and the other, why weren't they protesting? Why weren't they doing anything like that before? Why are they doing this? Because they don't like Trump? Like, I'm just confused. Like, I'm honestly confused. Now they want to protest, they want to do this and do that because Trump's sending that National Guard. And best believe he is. I'm telling y'all. Best believe he is. Definitely happening. Here it is right here. These are the locations in Chicago. This is literally the Chicago Midway International Airport. There's literally 12, literally, that was shot. 5 unalive, and the weekend shooting across Chicago. Literally. All these locations. Literally, all these, it was in Inglewood, Roseland, Chinatown, Bridgeport, Oak Park. There was a lot that's happening in this Oak Park area. And it's pretty sad. Not too far from the zoo. From the airport. So I mean, this is definitely important. Like I don't understand how people don't think this is important. I'm telling y'all. Pretty sad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely pretty sad. This is President Trump having to put a reporter in her place just based off of the comment that she made. Check it out.
Say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Come on now. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. It's and the crazy thing is that they make this out to be. And it's sickening. And I don't know why they continue to do this, because it's almost like they want to see, how we react. But I'm telling y'all, ain't gonna happen. Definitely not gonna happen. Says on MSNBC, this woman claims her constituents are not afraid of gangs, but do fear President Trump sending federal agents to fight crime, which is absolutely insane. Check it out.
But this president has also long been obsessed with gangs in Chicago. It was actually a big part of his first run for Trump 1.0, was this idea that he was going to take on all the gangs in Chicago. That, of course, never really came to fruition. But what specifically are you concerned about, and which communities do you think need the most protection in this moment?
I think that the president wants to do everything he possibly can to instill the most fear in communities that are most vulnerable. Certainly immigrant communities, certainly Black communities, communities that have been vulnerable for a very long time for many reasons. And so that is why it's so important and you see it here in the protests. There are local people from the community who do deportation defense, who have been doing violence interruption work for years in the city of Chicago, that are trained to be able to mediate, to ensure that we are creating all of the peaceful tactics to be able to manage protests. They're at the forefront saying, we're going to do everything we possibly can to ensure that people feel protected. It's not gangs that Chicagoans are worried about right now. They're worried about the president of the United States of America deploying the very same people that are supposed to protect America against its own people.
So you mean to tell me that she's sitting here saying that people aren't as scared, they're not scared of gangs. Not scared of gangs, but they scared of what Trump has. Like, that doesn't make sense. And they clearly see it's not something that is just, this is this. It's literally crazy, because literally showing how the whole DC situation was handled. How clear the streets are, as little to no crime. It's things like that. But then you have this woman that's sitting here and putting out, this false statement, that people they're not scared of they're not scared of the gangs. They're scared of what Trump, they're scared of the National Guard, the federal rangers. That, come on, y'all. Like, let's be real. I'm telling y'all, definitely sad, definitely crazy. Y'all let me know y'all comments, thoughts on this video. I know a lot of people are outraged about this, but one thing about it, Trump got it handled. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.